Yeah, it's first time using the Riverside.
So cool. So I think we're actually live already. Looks like it took us live. So
Okay.
anyone who's joining us, how's it going? Uh, I'm here with Robert's collection of hobbies, Robert Rivera's collection of hobbies, but abbreviated your name there to make it fit the screen,
Y-
right?
Yeah, yeah. I forgot when I made it if it was recognizing it was too long, so or if I made it like that. I just
Right.
but I figured it's fine to make it just shorter.
So yeah, cool. So how's your haunt coming along? First of all, let's talk about that.
It's actually going pretty good. There's like the only main things that has been kind of like a problem has been like the weather recently because it just got into like 97 degrees territory. So it wasn't that much of a problem before until now. It then started to affect a few things that I had only secured with hot glue.
Okay. Yep.
So yeah, so that I had to go in to do a couple repairs, but it wasn't too bad. Um, Everything else, I pretty much designed it so I used the hot glue for a temporary hold, and then I use the caulking as a more secure method, or I use the great stuff spray foam, and
Yep.
that really works to hold things, especially in the high temperatures.
Yeah. So we don't get quite as hot over here on the East Coast where I am in Rhode Island, but I've heard about that. People having issues where the heat just comes on and just melts the glue and things start falling apart. So
Yeah, it could be a mess because so one of the things I did as like a last minute decision was so there's the coffin zombie in the cemetery,
yep.
and that one when I had the blue light set to it, you can't really see all the details because it just gets all washed out. So then what I did was I tried to create like a temporary tomb that will kind of cut some of the light, and I could put direct light like a flashlight shooting up from below, and
Okay.
so then you could kind of see some of the rib details, the facial details.
Yep.
Um, and then when I did that, the first method I tried, I mainly was relying on the hot glue to keep it secured, but then the heat just went up from one day to the next. It went up and then it went down, and that just caused things to come apart. So
Right.
I had to re-engineer the whole setup. But it more or less looks the same as when I uploaded a video on the update video of it. So that's good. Recently, I just uploaded a video on the pumpkin swamp, so I started doing more work on that scene. Added
Awesome.
some more lights to break in that green, so it's not just all green. There's some orange to break up the colors.
Right. I'd like to too for people that might not know your channel. Maybe we could play your newest video. I don't think it'll place the audio, but we can play part of that, and you can kind of talk about what we're seeing and explain what you're doing. I thought that'd be kind of cool
Yeah, we could
to
do that.
do. Um, so Javi Halloween's with us here. So how you doing? And yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. But so you're how big is your haunt altogether? Because it seems like you keep adding scenes, and I'm just like, when is this thing gonna end? Because
So it's from right now. It's I believe it might be like 30 feet in terms of the length. Width wise, that that might be 15 feet in terms of width. So like imagine that type of square footage. That's like about the square footage of the haunt. Um, but there is a section that is like I believe it's like another 10 feet or so. That section, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have that done this year or I'm gonna have it done next year.
okay,
It's basically where the have a gate that goes into where we have like a driveway, and that area there was going to be a spider dome scene, but
nice,
with the time and my mom, she because we used to have a store, so she has a bunch of stuff stored in that area.
okay,
what might happen is I might not do the spider scene this year.
Yeah.
I'll just open the gate and then I'll cover that area, and then I'll just have people walk through into the haunt. Basically, they're going to start from the cemetery,
Okay.
and then it's just going to end with them doing like a. It's going the path is like a shape of a P. So they
Okay.
basically come back around, and then they will. The last scene they're gonna be in is the pumpkin scene, and then their exit is basically the same way they got in.
Oh, that works for sure. Yeah, for ours it's funny because at first we were just doing the building I'm doing in the driveway, and we are just gonna have some animatronics going like up the driveway like we did last year, and then my wife got all these ideas about like, well, let's wrap it through here and do this. So now it that's like turned into a whole nother project. So it's crazy. So like we're trying to like my dad came over today, and for a little bit we were trying to get some of the walls up in the hallways to the house, and then my wife's not working some couple of days this weekend, so then we'll be doing the other stuff outside. But I know what you mean. Like it's just like you have all these ideas, and then how much can you actually get done? So
Yeah, it's so what I did was because so I it was really crazy. So it was really what really got me back into haunting because I was getting into haunting when I was in high school, and it was what actually convinced my college counselor to say, "Oh, you should major in mechanical engineering since you like building things with motors and stuff like that." So she said, "Okay, do that," and then I'm like, "All right," because I'm an ignorant kid, and so I just decided, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna learn knowledge. Maybe I'll make my own props and maybe work for a company that builds props like Techie or something.
right.
But the school itself was kind of like a something where it's like more of an obstacle than it was encouraging on that behavior.
Yep.
And then plus, I started in school like a typical way going to university. You're taking your under your courses like your math and your English and all that stuff. And then I got to a point where I should have been able to do internships. I should have been able to do join clubs and build stuff on campus, but COVID hit. So it was like right in the middle of the good spot of my education when I was going to learn all the juicy stuff, which
Right.
basically goes into making props. And
Huh, that sucks so much. Oh man.
yeah, I mean, there was 3D printing that we only were able to learn and apply it from a digital standpoint. We couldn't actually do it in practice at first
Okay.
until like my senior design year. Then that was able to be done, and it was only thankfully because they were allowing us to come back on campus by that point. But at that point, you're like 1-2 years, then you're out.
Right.
So you get very little experience, and then the school was very hesitant also with when it came to 3D printing, because they had a lot. The staff is very old, so the mindset's also very like conservative, like very thinking like, oh, we don't want to try this too much because we're afraid it might not work out or whatever. So
Yep.
I basically got out of haunting due to the school. And then by the time I graduated, I almost was like lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do because there was so much things I went through just throughout the school and all that. And my sister said, you know what? How about I invite you to Halloween Horror Nights? And I never went to Universal Studios ever. I
Yep.
never even went during the daytime. And she got the passes for the daytime and the nighttime. And so we
And this is
went.
obviously the California, right?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the California Halloween Horror Nights over there, and and so my first experience of that was just like it refreshed or it reset my mind why I went to school in the first place,
Yeah.
and from that point I wanted to get back into haunting. So 2023 I didn't do anything, just kind of did like my homework, my research, figure out what I liked and all that stuff.
Right.
um, at the same time I was also going through a back injury, I had a bulged disc, so I couldn't get out of bed for a good long time, almost a year.
Oh, wow.
Um, and I didn't even know I had that. It was first doctor that saw me thought I had a ruptured blood vessel in my left leg because I was feeling pain in my left leg.
Yep.
And ultimately, after seeing several doctors, like many doctors, they finally said, "Oh yeah, you have a bulged disc." So they treated me for that. But by the time I got fully treated and I'm able to move around, it's like maybe early summer of 2024.
Yeah. You're
So
leaving
I
a lot of
have,
time.
yeah, so it's like a lot of time is there planning. I'm drawing things. I'm like saving videos on YouTube, making like a playlist that I
Right.
categorize haunt concept, or I think it's like haunt ideas or something. Oh no, it's called haunt style. So I have that
Okay.
playlist for myself, and using that, I was able to come up with the theme, the style, and then from there, I jumped into making a yard display for 2024,
Nice.
and I went to Halloween Horror Nights again. And when I went to Horror Nights again, because I didn't have the back injury, I was able to grasp, look at things and grasp knowledge a lot more easier without the distraction of pain,
Of course.
and I'm able to kind of like note it in my head. Okay, I should do that. I should do this. I should do that, and then um, I was like, you know what? I have all these ideas. If I don't act on them now, they're gonna fly away. So
Yeah.
I, November 10th, I basically said that's the day that I'm gonna start reconstruction of the display into a walkthrough,
Nice.
and just been consistently working on it since November 10th of 2024.
That's first of all, that's amazing to me that you've been starting like right after you just went into the new season. And that's a huge inspiration. We didn't. I mean, I started planning right, but I didn't actually start building till beginning of July, end of June, maybe. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you've been hard at work for 6 months already before I even started is crazy to me. But that's why it looks so great. I mean, it's coming out awesome. So
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I mean, I've seen what you posted, and I'm like, wow, that's a really a lot of work, and then I don't know how much like square footage you have, but it looks like you have like a lot of space. So you have that walk through outside, and then you can have a really good like haunted house, indoors haunted house.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's really cool.
The indoor section, it's gonna be we kind of changed a little bit, cut just a little bit back. So it's gonna be just under 700 square feet for the haunted house. But then, I mean, our driveway is huge, so the actual walk up, a lot of it's gonna be, some areas will just be animatronics because I still need to like get out of my driveway. But we
Mm-hmm.
kind of like our driveway circles around, so we're kind of when you come in the driveway, you're gonna go left and part through the yard, and then you'll cut back through the driveway, through the circle, and then you come up to the side of the house, and that's where the haunt is. So, and
Oh,
then we
okay.
also decorate the whole backyard for the Halloween party. We always do this for a Halloween party, so
Oh, okay.
um, but I think we might try to open it up to the public, the front area in the haunted house for at least one weekend.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. I'd like people to see it.
Yeah,
So
it's something like I've been trying to work on too. Is trying to get it ready so I could actually put good pictures on SoCal haunts,
yep,
and so I've been trying to. That's mainly the main pressures right there. Is because then on SoCal haunts you have to put in the time that you're going to be open,
okay,
and at the same time right now I'm trying to get a job. I've been trying to get a job since I recovered from my back injury,
right,
but it's been difficult because I want to get into the haunt industry,
yep,
and in anything I'm willing to do anything, and that's actually the main reason why I signed up to go to Midsummer Scream, because I looked at I think it was Monster Palooza, and it's mainly more of a collector's gig. If you
okay,
go to Monster Palooza, it's not like Trans World where you have actual industry there.
yep,
So I was like, okay, I think Midsummer Scream, you're gonna find something more there. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna get the pass, the general admission pass for the 3 days, and then I'm gonna go there, print out my resume, and try to get something. Try to pass them out, get the word out, um, and hopefully I could hook up something.
Right.
Um, haven't gotten an email yet from anybody, um, so I don't know if I will. But I also applied to the Haunted Hayride, Los Angeles Haunted Hayride, to
Nice.
see if I get something there, just so I get some income coming in. Because
Right.
yeah, that's really very important. And then so yeah, that was like the main reason for applying to that. But it was really a surprise, the Midsummer Scream, because it was the first time I ever really went to a convention.
Right.
um, I think the last time I went to a convention like that, it was years ago, maybe 2012, something like that,
Yep.
and it was not even nearly as big.
Yeah.
So um,
Just gotta say, uh, Hobby Halloween said only 65 days until Halloween. Not a lot of time left.
yeah,
Thanks for the reminder. We got a lot to do.
yeah, even
Uh,
yeah. That's why I said in my video, one of my videos, I said, yeah, this is the time crunch time
right.
because you don't have that much time left. It's easy. 1 month will fly, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's October.
The whole summer flew by. I don't know where the summer went. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Somebody actually responded or not responded, but they commented in one of my other videos. They said that they thought uh, my working on the haunt was unhealthy, and they thought I was gonna be burned out. And I was just thinking, like, well, that's why there was a certain part in the summer, I actually didn't work on the haunt. I set aside like some weeks um, to avoid that, and then I worked on other things, like I did scale modeling
okay. Yep.
stuff, and that's like a good way to uh, sort of set back from haunting, and then just like come back into it, but with a different, fresh lens.
For sure.
And then and that's good, I think, because then you're able to actually catch more things that maybe you could say, oh, that's a mistake, oh, that I should redo that, or
Right.
yeah,
The thing too I find with doing home haunts is that there's so much different stuff to do, right? So like you might like last year I was working on the pirate ship and carving the foam and doing all that. But when that got tiring, it's like, well, you know what? I'll go work on this animatronic, or I'll go paint this other. Like, there's always something else you can do. So I
yeah,
find that um, you get exhausted sometimes and just need to take a break for sure. But it's not like you have to be doing the same thing all the time. You know,
yeah,
like I think just going, it's like, oh, let me just play with lighting for a night. You know, even though maybe nothing's getting like finished, right? No work's getting done.
yeah,
It's something you need to do, and it's just kind of fun because it's like, oh, if I make this red, how does it look? If I make this purple or blue, and what's the feel you get? So I think even that, it's like there's ways to play. There's work to do, right? There's definitely
yeah.
hard work, but there's ways to play with it too. You know, to maybe have a night where it's not as terrible. You know, so
Yeah, that was the thing too. Is like that's why it took me also a lot of time, because the lighting was that's probably one of the hardest things to
yeah,
work on, because if you get the lighting wrong, it's like, oh my gosh, the scene just doesn't look great. But
right.
if you get the lighting right, you could really, it could be knocked out of the park.
Right. It's funny because a really good scene can be ruined with bad lighting, and a scene that's really not that great can look really good if you get the lighting right. So
Yeah,
lighting's everything, you know what I mean? Like it really is. Like when I first started, and I did just a little walkthrough in the backyard for the kids. I had some lighting, but there are definitely areas I didn't have enough. And I'm just like, oh, you know, it's not working, and I needed more lights, but I didn't have time at that point. It was like a day before for the party, so but yeah, it's huge. You know, it's so important. We had a couple more comments here. Uh, Javi Halloween said Van Oaks Props was at the same convention you were at, and
oh
he
yeah,
he did a workshop and was on a panel. It's awesome. Van Oaks is amazing. I don't know if
yeah. I
you
actually said hi to him,
did. You
and
go see him?
yeah, I saw him doing his session. And I was like, I wanted to say hi to him, and I was like, Oh man, he looks so busy. I don't want to bother him because I've been in that situation where you're busy and you're like, please, like, don't bother me. I like you, but don't bother me. So what I did was I just waited for the next day, and I knew he was going to be there. So that's when I said hi to him, and he
Nice.
was available. Yeah, he's very cool. He's a very smart guy.
Yep. James said hand pink waving. Hi, James. Javi asks, where are you located exactly? So what? I know you're in California, but where exactly are you? Yeah.
So I'm in Los Angeles area. It's I'm very close to Dodger Stadium. So
Okay.
it's like between Dodger Stadium and downtown, that area. Um, it's very hilly, so that's been pretty much one of the obstacles for trick or treaters in my area is that you don't really get a lot because of the hills,
Right.
and then the parking is kind of difficult. I think you have to probably park like 2 streets away just to then walk to the haunt.
Okay.
That's why I want to get my haunt ready to post it on SoCal Haunts because
Yep.
that's gonna be the only other way to actually get people to come because there's also not very many families with a lot of kids in the area.
Okay.
So definitely that's something I gotta do. There is a group that I used to volunteer for. I might try to send them some information and say, look, if you guys know anybody who wants to come by, I'm gonna give out candy. They could bring their kids if they want, or adults are welcome as well. Um, and they could come to the haunt, and check it out. So that's yeah. So I'm definitely in an area that it's a little bit challenging, but it's still cool because you get a really quick access if you want to drive to Burbank. It's not that far.
Cool.
So and Burbank's known to have like they go hard on Halloween.
Do they?
Yeah, they actually had last year. I think they had like a neighborhood competition for like the best decorated house,
Oh,
and
really?
one of the houses that made it on television was the clown house. They just went all circus themed clowns everywhere. It was incredible, and apparently the guys that have that house, they work for the movie studios, so they were able to really exploit their expertise.
That's. I mean, yeah. It's like gonna be hard to beat them, right? They get
Yeah,
all the inside tricks. Um.
yeah.
So do you in California? Do people use fright maps as well, or no? Do you know
Um,
that one?
I've heard of it. I think they probably do. I never used it since getting back into haunting, but I heard that's something that they do use. I think Van Oaks might have said that they use that. He's more familiar with what people are using for all that stuff because he lives, I think, in an area kind of like Burbank where it's a lot more flat. So um, more people get to go to those places, find parking, and trick or treat easier than a place like where I live because you're on a hill, and then there's also not very many houses that decorate, and
Right.
so. But yeah, fright maps is probably what they probably use, or they use. I know SoCal Haunts they have online. They have a way to you could see a map like a like a top view map of all the different houses, and they're kind of listed almost like if you were looking on Google Maps for a business. They do the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. So Fright Maps is the one that I'm familiar with and that I use in this area, but I don't think there's a specific one for Rhode Island, so that's what I got to go with. Do we want to look at your newest video? Maybe you can walk us through
Yeah,
what's going on with it.
yeah,
All right. So let me. I brought it up. I just got to figure out how to share it. So give me 1 second here.
yeah.
So this one is the night. Is this the one we should do? Nighttime coffin zombie. Another collapse
Um,
update, or should we
so
do a
there
different
should
one?
well, there's that one, and then the one I just uploaded like just before we started was the pumpkin swamp. So
Oh yeah, right here we go. Perfect.
yeah,
Oh, let's do this. 37 minutes ago. So what was it? So I haven't watched this yet. I'm gonna share my. Here we go. Can we see it? Awesome.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna just hit play, and this volume's down, so you can just tell us what's going on. If you want me to pause it, let me know. Okay.
Okay. So right now we're starting off from the exit of the castle,
Okay.
and then right now there's just a bunch of curtains covering the exit. They're kind of like they're just ribbons, but they're very wide, so it kind of resembles the same thing when you go into like a professional haunted house, how they have those drapes.
Yep.
So
Hanging
it does
down.
that. Yeah, so it does the same effect. Um, I believe at this part of the video, I might have just been talking about that,
Right.
um, and then I probably just mentioned what you're gonna end up seeing um, as you pass through the curtains.
Okay.
So
Yep.
so
Where are we going? Here we go. Okay.
so there's a step down when you exit the castle. So it's that is something to be aware of. So I put orange lights. They're like kind of like Christmas lights, but they're orange,
Yep.
and strung those around to give more to break up the green and highlight some of the detail. Um, and
It
then
looks good with the green behind it too. It's a good contrast, I think.
yeah, so there's a light there that's green. It's actually kind of like it's not a strobe, but it kind of gives like that aqua effect.
Hmm.
So there's that one there. Those pumpkins that you saw, they were actually from the Dollar Tree,
Oh, really?
and they just came out with those, and I picked up two of them. Um, I might repaint them because they're all black and the stem is orange. So,
Okay.
um, and then that's me mentioning the step that you gotta be careful of. Just it's a one drop step, not too deep, but it's there. So that pumpkin creature, I got that from Party City. I stuck the lights up in the rib cage so it will illuminate it more.
That's
There's
cool.
actually a light in the head, but that one I don't have it on
Okay. Just
because
turn it on for the haunt, though, right?
yeah, for the hunt it'll be on. Um, you actually just put batteries in the back of it, and you could switch it on. Um, and I actually grew corn this year. They didn't get that big, but I was able to harvest them and put them around
That's
to
awesome, though.
to make it like more to make it feel more like a fall, like a fall feeling. Um, I should say it's like yeah, I thought it would just fit in better. To add the corn stalks around because as
Now,
you're
is that fencing that you made?
no, so that's really old fencing that came from Spirit back in long time ago when they first came out with the Jason animatronic,
Okay.
the one that kind of like pivots from his waist
Yep.
and he yeah, so that same year there was a Spirit back in Glendale, uh, and they what they did was they were just like it's like one of the closing days when they have everything on 50% off and all that stuff. So that day they had a bunch of this fencing and they were just giving it, I forgot how much, it was very cheap. So my aunt and I, we just picked it all up, and it's
Awesome.
plastic, and so the good thing about it being plastic, you don't have to worry about it rotting,
Right.
and it's already painted and all that. So I've had this for years and years, and I took it out and said to myself, you know what, it'd be kind of neat to cover the. There's a pool there actually, a small like a kiddie pool,
Okay.
but it's a little bit, it's like a rectangular shape. So I thought, okay, it'll be good to cover the top of that pool with the fencing, and it
Yep.
just I think would work well with the concept of having the pumpkins, and then real corn growing in the back. So,
That
um,
looks
so I
looks great.
I drilled those to the actual pool, but it's above the water, so the water's not going to be like leaking through.
Gotcha. Okay. Keep going.
And
I just saw that. I was like, oh, let me ask about that.
yeah, there's some there, and then there's some like near the railing. So just below my hand on the corner of the screen there's a rail,
Okay.
um, and then there's some right there to kind of like deter small children from jumping into the water.
So
Um,
that's the guy from on the left is the one you got from uh, the store. But what's the one
uh,
on the right? Is that one you
so
made?
yeah, that one is one I made from scratch. The only thing that's not from scratch is the pumpkin itself.
Yep.
But what I did was I just used pool noodles for the body,
Okay.
and I draped the creepy cloth over the arms and the neck region, and then the pumpkin itself I repainted it because the paint got faded. So I went in with an orange, and then I went in with so something I don't really see people use is the floral spray paint. So the floral spray paint, if you're looking for something that's like you're going to get like a watered down type of color,
Okay.
uh, you could use the floral spray paint, and that's going to be very quick. You don't
Hmm.
have to go in with a brush and be watering down a paint and then brushing it on. You can use the floral spray paint, and it'll give you the same look. So I used the brown one,
That's
and
an awesome tip. I've never heard that before, so I'm going to give that a try.
yeah, that I mean I don't know where you could pick it up because I my mom she used to have, so our store, my parents' store used to be a half of it was a floral shop, and the other
Okay.
half was like a ceramic type of uh, statue building fabrication store.
Okay.
Um, so she would get these paints, and she would use them on different things. And then when we closed, we had a whole bunch of them. So I was able to use them. And in downtown LA, in the flower district, they do sell them there. So
Hmm.
that's where I usually pick them up. And so then I go in, and in this case, I think the pumpkin was going to look good with like a brown wash. So I went in with a brown floral spray paint, hit that head with it, and it really like starts to. Um, in the daytime, you can see it more. I think in the nighttime, it's a little difficult to see the difference, but it it's still, I think it works very very good in making the pumpkin look more creepier, or gives it like an extra layer of detail.
Yeah. I gotta say that the store bought one on the left too does look kind of cool with the lights off in the head. I don't know. That's kind of creepy looking. But
Yeah, I think because the green light is shooting up towards it
right.
more, you're able to get the silhouette of the darkness inside the head.
Yep.
Versus the other one, it doesn't have the same lighting.
Right.
So the other one, I think it does need the light in the head.
Right. It looks cool though. I like the one you made. It's awesome. Looks great.
Thanks.
But we'll keep going.
So there's actually real corn growing behind, actually down there
Uh,
in the
can we just
legs of.
see what was this pumpkin down here?
Oh, so
Well,
that's actually the very first pumpkin monster
let's see if I can
I ever
flash him quick.
built.
Right over here. Okay.
Yeah, so that guy, yeah, he's a big balloon that I
Yep.
took layers of of paper and basically did like a paper mache, and then afterwards I went in with cotton, and I took layers of the of cotton, and well they're so it's not just cotton, it's actually those makeup pads, some
Okay.
they're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
circular. So
Yep.
I took a bunch of those, um, and I just layered them up. So as you get to the top of the pumpkin, it's like maybe two layers of those, but then as you get towards like the in this case it would be where the face is at,
Yep.
you're probably looking around 6 layers.
Oh
So it
wow.
gives you that nice like curvature detail of like how a pumpkin has. So it gives you like that nice bumpy look. But then I go in with another layer of normal cotton, and I kind of just stretch cotton balls together, put it out, and I go in with hairspray, spray that
Okay.
down with the hairspray, And what it did was it created almost like a whole textured skin.
Huh, that's
So
cool.
I could go in with like spray paint and hit it with different layers of paint, and then you're gonna get like this ruggedy, wrinkly skin look, but still get like a pumpkin look out of it. So
That's
um,
cool.
that was something I experimented last year, and I made him last year, and he was in the same area, but he was facing the street because at that time it was a yard display.
Yep.
So he was just propped up with a pole in his back, and then the only trouble was his head was so heavy, um, it kept on like shifting. So I had
Mm.
to use great stuff spray foam to fix it. But after I did that, then I was like, you know what? I'm going to recycle him for the pumpkin scene, and I'm going to change the bottom legs to uh, to make it look more like he's coming out maybe of the water or something.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I just caught him in the corner. Like, I gotta ask about that. But we'll
Yeah,
keep we'll keep going.
yeah,
Let's see,
it's
there's a better look right there.
yeah. So
So is he almost
there's
like a groundbreaker, or is he just shorter?
he's now I basically made him into like a groundbreaker.
So he's coming out of the water, like you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then there's the other lighting there. So there's a shelf that these pumpkins are on. Okay, so I'm talking about the vines. So that's actually pool noodles that I just stripped them, and
Okay.
then I used a heat gun and I bonded them around different areas. And so there's like the pool noodles. So that's where I'm saying I cut like a triangle shape,
Yep.
and then I just slice it all the way down, and then you just like position it wherever you want to position it, curve it wherever you want to curve it, and then hit it with the heat gun, and it's gonna basically conform to the shape that you want it, and
It's awesome.
it's gonna work like a good vine, and you could just paint it with whatever color you want, add texture if you want, add texture to it, but um, once you do that, it's like it's ready to go. It's very quick, very simple.
So you got a lot
Um,
of layers here. You got the vines, you got your fencing, you have your real corn that you grew.
yeah,
Uh, that's it's awesome. It's cool. It gives it a good variation of textures and cool patterns for the light to shine through. So that's
Mhm.
awesome that you're like we're thinking about all that stuff.
Yeah. The first thing is like you have to. What I look at is like you have to go in with your foundation, like your main pieces,
Right.
whether it's the place where people are gonna walk or it's the back wall of a facade.
Mm-hmm.
Those things have to be in place first,
Yep.
and then understanding that even though those things are there, if you're going to put power like lights in there, decide what you want to do. Are you going to bring in extension cords or you're going to bring in LEDs with batteries? And once you make that decision, then you're like, okay, this is where I'm going to run my extension cords, this is where I'm going to run my lighting, and then from there you can start adding your layers, and then that just becomes more detail, um, just gradually building up.
Cool.
So
No, it's awesome. So this is like you said, this is going to be the final area, right? That they go
yeah,
through,
yeah.
and this is coming
So
out of the castle, right? We
yeah, this
did
is
that.
like
So
that's directly out of the castle. There's still like a cleanup, so that's like actually the exit archway, and then you're gonna basically walk the same path that you walk coming into the cemetery.
so where's
There's
the okay? So where's the cemetery from here?
so see if you could bring the video a little back. Let's see. Stop it right there. Okay, so on the left side of the screen,
Yep.
um, where you see those lights are, well,
Right over
just
here.
yeah, so just past that, there's a column, and that's actually so
Right
that's a
here. Right.
column that I built using styrofoam boxes, like you could store ice in, or sometimes you could get them at like a gas station or something.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yep.
there was a place, a pharmacy that was giving those for free, like a whole like every weekend. So I was able to pick up,
Really?
yeah. So I was able to pick up several of those, and I made a this column here. The base is actually a concrete planter, but the
Okay.
rest of it is it's the foam boxes. So that
Awesome.
column is just one of two that you're gonna walk between, and you're gonna enter the cemetery from.
Okay.
Um, and
So
then
you're saying the piece, so you're coming
yeah,
down here, you're hooking around, and then coming back out.
yeah. So it basically
Gotcha.
creates like a shape of a like a P. Like your path, the path is the shape of a P, the a letter P, and then when you exit, you're basically gonna exit the same way you
Go out the
walked
same way.
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is the area that you said down the road at some point you'd like to do like the spider
Well,
archway. Is
so
that this
this
area?
so it's close. So this is just a mess that I got cleaning out, but
I get
just
that
a
all over
little.
my driveway. I know what you mean. The ladder is here, tools here. It's crazy.
Yeah, so just a little past, like I think the last box that you might see in the top.
Up here somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. So just past that, that was actually where the spider don't den area was supposed to be at,
Okay.
um, because there's a gate that a big garage gate there. Um, so I was thinking, okay, that area is, I maybe I could make into like, cause I have spider webs and stuff, so
Yep.
I could make that spider a huge spider den. But at this point, I'm thinking that's better for next year than this year,
Yep.
because it's not enough time I think to do as much as I would want to do. I can still make stuff for next year, but it's
Right.
just not going to be on the priority list. So,
For sure.
um, what I might end up doing is actually I'll clean that area out, but then I'll roll the gate open, and then you're actually just going to walk into the cemetery,
Yeah.
and so that's going to be like the first scene.
Cool.
Which the other update video actually kind of shows that path of where you would walk in that scenario.
Cool. Awesome. So we'll keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's okay. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, there was a that wooden shelf that I used was
Now what's that right here?
so that's actually so that's you're looking at the top of the castle,
Okay.
or let's say you're in the street and you're looking towards the castle. That's what one of the things you would see. And I actually put LED lights behind this top foam pieces, um, to illuminate the cutout silhouette, that cross cutout silhouette, that I made.
Awesome.
So it kind of like resembles what I've seen in sometimes the Hammer horror films. Is you got this weird lighting that does show things, even if it's not actually natural. To
Right.
do for
I,
it, they do it in a way just to show, just so you could see things. So in this case, I did a similar thing where I just hid a huge string of LED lights on the top, so it will illuminate parts of the castle from the outside.
so Hobby was asking. He said it looks great. He said it's hard to see since it's in dim light. Is there another video walkthrough during the day?
I'm gonna do a walkthrough during the day. I haven't done so yet, because this video I just I just made it and posted it. Um, and then during the daytime, it's been difficult to really make any videos because it's just been so hot. The last daytime video I did, I noticed the heat was actually affecting me because it was just burning. it was it was
Just
just
to
way too,
interrupt you real quick.
yeah.
Frady just stopped in to say hi, and she said, "Hi guys, I got to get back to work, but be sure to watch this on replay." So, Frady, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I know Frey.
yeah,
Yeah,
her stuff's amazing too. So, can't
yeah.
wait to get some updates and see what she's doing. And Javi Halloween, Frady, we should get you on. If you guys download the Riverside app, we'll do a home haunters hangout with a bunch of people. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, right
Um,
there you're also seeing the archway of the vine that I made. So that's the where the orange lights are.
okay, yep,
Yeah, so
right over here.
that's
Yep,
yeah, and then there's creepy cloth over that. So um, that's also to give it that pumpkin swamp vibe.
right. Very cool. One thing that's the hardest thing to do, I think, for haunters is we spend all this time making stuff, and then how do you get good shots at night? Is there like a good camera we can get, or is there something? Because things never never look as good when you're filming it. It drives me nuts. So if anyone has good ideas on how to get better shots of your haunt at night, let me know because that's it's one of the hardest things. You spend all this time and it just doesn't come across on video the way it looks in
Y- y-
person.
yeah, that's the same thing I run into. I have a Canon camera that I shoot some of these videos with, but even then, it's not. There's things like I see in person, and you can't really see it on video all that good. Um, and like this is here the camera I use.
Okay.
I don't know exactly the model, but it's the best thing I could use because if I use my phone, it's just gonna be filled up, and I can't really store anything on the phone like that.
Right.
Um, so and I tried an iPad before. It the problem with the iPad is it just the audio doesn't get the audio very great,
Right.
and if you have like flickering lights like the strobes, it ruins the I guess the camera's focus kind of goes off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it gets pretty tricky with that, and then your lighting. That's the problem I experienced last year. Is your lighting could be great in person, but then the camera doesn't see it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're like, you see some prop, you're like, that looks great, and then you're like, you shoot it on the camera, and you're like, where's the prop?
Right. So whoops. Okay, we can stop sharing there. But yeah, the only thing I can say is there's been a couple of times where I filmed something and I'm like, oh, that actually looks better than it does in person with the
Oh
with
yeah,
the where there's sometimes it catches light differently, but yeah, it's frustrating. Hobby Halloween said the same thing. I want to know how to film in dim light too. I've used fill light to help, and fill light does help. I've kind of done the same thing sometimes, but I don't know. It's a struggle. So if
yeah,
anyone watches this, even if you're not watching now, if you watch it later, drop some ideas in the comments. As we
yeah,
all
because
want to
you
know.
yeah, because it could be you just need maybe a good lens, a certain lens for it.
Right.
Because if you're using like a can camera like the one I have, you could swap out the lenses for
Right.
other ones, but then that's costly. I think one lens I saw in a Swami was like 67 at the cheapest. It was like $67, but that's a lot of money, right?
Right.
Just on a camera lens. So it's an investment. I did take a photography class in university, but yeah, that's one of the things that they talked about is like, oh yeah, your lenses and lighting, and that's all like pretty much that's your main control is your lenses and your lighting.
Right.
Um, and
And
then
like
afterwards, you're kind of just doing after effects to what you captured.
right. And if you're
So
doing stills, you can play with the exposure and stuff. But if you're doing
yeah,
the walkthrough, it's hard, you know. But
exactly, and that was something that was like I liked the photography class because it gave me some insight on that. But then I was like, but if you're doing video, that's a whole different ballpark because
right.
you have to have maybe a certain software to really affect things properly, um, or or then your lighting should be like a medium. If you don't want too bright because if it's too bright, you're gonna get too much exposure. If it's too dim, you're not gonna get anything captured on
Right.
the lens.
Yep.
So that was a fight that I was facing even this year with the lighting. I was like, looks great on camera, but then in person it's too bright,
Right.
or in person certain colors were fine, but then on the camera it turned a color that was a blue into a purple.
Right.
So it's like things you wouldn't expect happen, and then you're in a weird position where you're like you have to pick and choose, what you're willing to accept, and
Exactly.
so yeah.
Javi said, I think it is the sensor chip in the camera is key to low light filming, probably the lens too. So that could be it. Um, I got to do some more research. What I basically kind of done when I did the pirate ship walkthrough was tried to like go slow, and then when I got to a detail, I wanted to see it kind of like stop and hope that the camera would focus enough to get it, and then kind of keep moving. But
Yeah, it also
yeah,
like keeping it still, like without having it get all shaky. That's something too is
right.
very difficult. I've had issues with time to time. So sometimes I've even put in the description, please excuse the shaky camera,
Yeah.
because I'm like filming this, but I'm also looking where I'm walking because I don't want to trip on a ladder or extension cord that I have. Since
Right.
I'm still building stuff, I'm like, it's still like a construction site. So you're like, okay, I'm showing you this, but I gotta watch my step because if I don't, I might trip on my own gear here.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why sometimes the camera could be a little shaky because of that. I know it was more shaky, I think, when I did the last daytime update because again the heat was just super extreme that day.
Yeah.
And it was like I was outside shooting the video for the diorama, and I was outside and when I was shooting that video, and I was like, you know what? How about I just do a quick update video since I'm out here, knock out one bird with no, yeah, two
Two
birds
birds
with
with
one
one stone.
stone.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm gonna do that, and then I was out there, and I'm like, I feel a burning on my neck. I feel like I need water. It's like what this is not the desert, but it's starting to get close.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm gonna wrap this video up, and then so I did that, and I uploaded it so that way people could see um, what I've been working on. But I was like, that video I wasn't too happy about because the heat I could tell was kind of affecting me. It was just too strong.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the hour when I took that video, but it must have been like when it was at its peak, the
Yeah.
temperature.
And we had a
Um,
few days that actually hit over 100 here in Rhode Island, which never happens.
yeah.
And of course, my AC in my car wasn't working, and that was
Oh
the
man.
hottest day I got out of work. Traffic jam, so there's no airflow.
Oh
I was dying. I was covered in sweat. So I don't know your pain as much, but we've had a little bit of it here. And those
yeah.
days I did
That,
not go out and work on the hot. So
yeah. There's been days that was the other thing I think I did mention in one of the update videos is that because of the heat, um, I've basically I've basically turned into like a mole. So
okay.
daytime I'm sleeping,
Yep.
and then nighttime I'm actually going out there working on the hunt, which is actually somewhat better because I'm getting the actual lighting
Right.
to tell me what is going to be visible and what's not. So if something is not going to be visible, there's no reason at all to put a lot of detail in a corner that is completely black.
Exactly.
But if it is, then I'm like, okay, so then that scene does need work. So I start doing that, and it's to me it's just a lot more productive that way.
That
And
makes a lot of sense.
so it actually turns out to be better to work on it at night. The other thing is around midnight or around from 10 p.m. to midnight there's not that many cars,
Right.
so it's nice and quiet. So I could also work and if I videotape something, I could do it without getting too much cars driving by.
Right. So you don't
Um,
have the sound
yeah, so
of the
that's the
lights
other
or whatever. Yep.
yeah, so that's the other good thing. Um, the only thing is once you get I think until 1 o'clock, that's when you start getting cars, or
Okay.
once in a while you get a chopper that's flying. It flies by.
Hmm.
Um, But other than that, it's pretty good to work around those times on the haunt.
Right.
Um, and then so yeah, so I uploaded those two nighttime videos. The inside the castle, it needs a little bit of work, but it's pretty much done.
Yeah,
There's
you've done
not,
quite a lot in there from what I've seen. So
yeah, the inside is pretty much done. The only thing is that, like I did mention in one of my other videos, was that I am not too sure if I'm gonna get the mech the mechanism, the motor for the pop up vampire,
okay.
because it used to be like $100 cheaper when I last saw it,
Hmm.
or the first time I saw the mechanism, and then it went up $100.
Oof.
So it's like, and then I already blew some on the leprechaun. So
Right.
I was like, and then I blew some more in Midsummer, even though I didn't really spend that much. It was like I was saving it for the mechanism for the motor.
Yep.
But so this year I might just have to manually move the prop, which is not too bad, because where it's at, it's not like I have to be like in a weird awkward position trying to move it.
Yep.
But it would be better it with the I think it's the peekaboo controller
Yep.
and a linear actuator.
Yeah.
That would definitely make it work a lot smoother, and it'll have the sound that it needs and everything. It'll be
Right.
perfect. Um, but yeah, the Midsummer Scream was something that, like, I didn't think I was gonna spend some money, but it happened.
It's hard. I went to I didn't go this year, but 2 years ago I went to the first East Coast Haunters convention, and I mean I didn't even buy a lot there, but I still dropped a ton of money. Just being there is like you get a little thing here, something else there. Before you know, it's like oh, there goes $200. Like oops.
Yeah, there was we were walking, my sister and I, because I invited her to come, and we were walking somewhere, and we heard somebody say, I brought $20. I thought it was enough, and I guess it's like, yeah, $20, it's gonna be gone. It's gonna, like, that's nothing.
20 bucks. I mean, that doesn't buy you anything these days. It's
Yeah, I mean, you're probably not you're not gonna even get a signature with $20. Like,
no.
you can meet the actors and all those people, but you're not gonna buy any signature or a photograph with 20. You're probably gonna get a water,
Right.
a water maybe, and maybe a pretzel. But it's like, it's so expensive. It's crazy. It was more expensive at Midsummer Scream, I think, to buy a soda than it is to go at Universal's Hollywood, the Hollywood Universal Studios, and buy a soda there.
That's crazy. I
It
mean,
was it was
that's
like,
insane.
I think it was like $3 more, and it was like, why? Why does it have to be like that?
Because you
Um,
can't get it anywhere else, so you have to buy from them. That's why they do it.
exactly. Yeah, and the first day was like, really, it kind of, what bummed me out on the first day was, you see on the map, and it says, oh, food trucks. I'm thinking, oh, there's going to be a bunch of catering trucks of different kinds in like a back section. And this is
Right.
my first time being at the convention center of Long Beach, so I didn't know how the setup was. I go over there. That's not what it is. It's actually a stand, part of the convention center,
Oh,
where they
really?
sell
Of
food. Yeah, so it's their own people selling food. It's
course.
not a cater truck. But um, the second day is when they did bring a couple of catering trucks, and I think it was the second day when my sister and I, we bought two burgers from the Habit, because they had a Habit truck there.
Okay.
Um, and but we were just like, that experience at Midsummer was something I was blown away from.
Yeah.
And still, there was more I wanted to get out of it, but like, I want to meet, what's his name, the producer of Universal Horror Nights,
Okay.
at the Los Angeles, the Hollywood
Yeah.
Universal Horror Nights, but I wasn't able to find him
Hmm.
because I really wanted to give my resume to him, but and then try to make like a hookup conversation or something. Uh, but I wasn't able to meet him in person.
Right.
And there's just so many people at the event. Um, so, but there was other people I did meet and I did pass my resume to, like Greg Nicotero.
Yep.
He was
Awesome.
he was somebody that it was actually one of the first people we met, my sister and I, and she saw him. She was like, "That's Greg Nicotero!" Like I said to her, "You want to meet him?" She's like, "What do I say? I don't know what to say." Like she was nervous, and it was understandable because she watches The Walking Dead. We grew up watching The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Um, Not so big fan of like Fear of the Walking Dead or too much of the newer stuff,
Yeah.
but the main core, the original show, we did grow up watching that, and then so and I know he was in other movies. He did work on other stuff.
Yep.
So I was like, well, I could maybe use my resume as a way of sparking a conversation,
Right.
and maybe hopefully maybe it'll get somewhere. And
Yeah.
and so I went in and we're looking at his stuff. He has like pictures of him working on different things, and he could
Awesome.
sign it for you and you could pay for it. I think it was $60 for the signature of the picture, his a selfie with him, and then I don't know, I don't remember. I think it was just those two things.
Okay.
So we did that. Not on the first day. I think the second day is when we actually did the whole purchase thing. But the first day, I talked to him. I said, "How do you get in this business?"
Right.
And I told him my background, and then he was like, "Well, since I like to tinker with making the motorized props and stuff like that," he's like,
Mhm.
and basically, that's a motorized prop is just like a puppet but with a motor.
Right.
So he's like, in the industry, you would basically work on puppets, but he's like, they don't do that anymore. They rarely do it because
Computer.
the CGI. Yeah, exactly. And then with AI now, it's even harder.
Right.
So a lot more people are getting their jobs cut because of all this tech. Um, and then so he was like, I I can't guarantee I'm gonna get you something, but I got your resume. If you come here tomorrow, we could talk shop some more. So I did that,
Cool.
and he told me again. He reassured me he still has my resume. He was gonna bring it to his shop and see if they could get an interview with me. And
Okay.
I haven't
That's
seen
awesome.
anything yet, but hopefully something comes up. Um, yeah, just the first day at Midsummer, I think I passed out 6 resumes, and then out of the 20 I had, and then the rest of the days that we had, um, I just kept passing out resumes, and it's really like tactfully thinking. When you go up to a company and you see their product, you have to figure out, okay, how you're gonna um, advertise yourself, and you see what they have and how and draw a relationship.
Yeah.
So like one company, is they make all the slider equipment, and I saw that they have a piece of metal on the palm of the glove for sliding, and
Okay.
they have it on their fingertips and all that stuff. And I said, and I saw the way it's formed, and I remember from school we learned sand casting, and
Okay.
and so I was like, oh, this looks like a PC with sandcasted. So I asked them, you sandcasted that, right? And they're like, yeah, we sandcasted it's flint is what they use. So
Okay.
that's to give it that spark when you run on the floor and
Right.
slide around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, it's flint, and we sandcasted it. And so I told them, well, if you need somebody to help you with your manufacturing side, maybe you could employ me. And so they were like, okay. So I gave them my resume for that. And then it was crazy because the following day, I think it was the following day, I went to the same booth. There was a different person there, and I told them the stuff I was interested in. And then they said, oh, because I tried to I tried to get a job at Not Scary Farm for the production building of like the sets and stuff,
Yep.
and they didn't hire me. They said I didn't have enough experience. So uh, at the Midsummer Scream, I saw somebody there. They said, "Oh, we know somebody that does all that stuff. That is all part of the like the the is it the manufacturing or no? It's another word, but they basically build all the sets, the facades, and all that stuff, the
Yep.
walls." He's like, this guy that they know, um, he does that. So maybe you want to talk with him. And so I was able to
Nice.
give him my resume. He was able to give me an email, and so we, I struck up a relationship right there,
Cool.
and so that kind of relationship building was very important, and I was happy I was able to do that in different areas at Midsummer Scream.
Super
So
cool. That's awesome.
yeah, and I even have some pieces here that I picked up. I don't know if you want me to show them. Um,
So yeah, if we can do it quick, I don't have a lot longer because I can't let
oh,
my son get to bed too late. He had his first
oh
day
yeah,
of school today,
oh
uh,
wow,
so so I got to keep him on his schedule. But I do
yeah,
want to see those. So let's can we take a look
yes,
quick?
yeah. So this bat's actually made by another YouTuber. She had a booth over there. I think her
Nice.
name is Syrian or something like that. Excuse me if I get the name wrong, but
Very cool
um,
looking.
yeah, this was a $20 bat, but it was if you're gonna support a YouTuber, I think it's all fine to do to
Absolutely,
give something.
for sure.
So something really neat is I have a comic book that's signed by John Carpenter and Sandy King. So
That's
already
sweet.
started to read it, and then so I got this.
Very cool. Very
Picked up
cool.
picked up some DVDs that I didn't have, so I got the Fog, and then
Nice.
I got Wolfman,
Wolfman.
and then I got The Omen,
Awesome.
and got Fangoria magazine,
Sweet.
and because this one, the thing I liked about this one is that there's images in here that are very they're useful for uh, in terms of my haunt for the style. It really fits for drawing conceptual um, art and saying, okay, maybe I could do this and do that
Right.
for my haunt. So
Yeah, great
um,
inspiration for sure.
yeah, so those are just some of the main things I got. There's also a poster that I got free out of the. It was the I can't remember the name. It was one of the haunted houses, Lionsgate haunted house. So this is the back side of the poster, and then you got
Cool.
the front sides like this.
Nice.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, so Midsummer Scream was very cool. Very Greg Nicotero, very nice guy, very cool guy. Um, I also had a chance to meet the actor who played the werewolf in American Werewolf in London.
Oh, sweet.
So um, met him. I also met the one of the actresses who was in the Annabelle movies,
Nice.
and and then I was able to meet the Grim Life Collective.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, those guys we saw them all 3 days. We just went to their booth, kept said hi. Very nice people. Um, yeah, the whole show was very good. Oh, uh, Katie Serif, excuse if I get that name wrong, but she was in Annabelle Comes Home,
Okay.
and she was also in Supernatural. We got to meet her, and she actually asked us about the Lionsgate haunted house at Midsummer. She was
Cool.
like, "Oh, how is that haunted house?" And we were like, "Well, the end is sort of a trip."
Is it?
Yeah, because you actually have to crawl to a car
Oh,
at the
really?
very end. Yeah, and they put an actor sitting in the back seat.
Of
So
course
when
they
you're
do.
so you're crawling in, and I don't know if you've seen the movie Strangers.
No, I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
So that movie, there's like these people that wear these weird masks.
I
Well, they have
remember
one.
the previews, yeah. So
Yeah, so they have one person dressed like that in the back seat. So as you're going through the car and you're crawling on your knees, you see some little slight movement, like very slight, but it's there. And the person's it's an actor sitting in there with the mask. Yeah, that convention really blew me away. Even on the haunted houses, they actually had on one house a windmill, a
oh wow,
working windmill.
huh, that's cool.
So, yeah, if anyone has never been to Midsummer Scream, definitely go next year. It's worth going.
It's good to
Uh,
know. I'd love to check
it's
it out.
if if um, if you're gonna get tickets, I would say, and it is your first time, um, try to get the general ticket, but get the one for the 3 day. It's
Okay,
the deal is the price for the price of the tickets is a lot better deal, and you get to see more stuff.
right.
Um, there's also the panels. I think there's panels for different things at different days,
Yep.
and those you could even with the general admission, you don't have to pay extra. You could go to those panels, um, but uh, but you want to be able to if you want to see some of the information or get some of the information from those panels, you want to be able to have that access. So the 3 days is worth I think the price of the ticket.
Awesome.
Um, so yeah, in terms of my haunt, I'm still going to be uploading updates. There's still some more stuff to do. Mainly, it's going to be right now at this point. It's mainly cleanup, and then I got to check my foggers.
Okay.
So yeah, because the foggers I haven't run them in a long time. So
Yep.
I got to see what works, what doesn't. Maybe I have to buy a new one.
Awesome. Oh, hopefully not. Hopefully, unless you want to
Yeah,
add another one, but that's different.
yeah. You know, the thing is, they're where they've been at. I'm not sure if things got too corroded. I don't know
Right.
how bad shape they are. So, if the worst case comes, might have to buy a new one. Because last year I know I used dried ice and
Okay.
it worked sort of okay, but it wasn't. It's not the greatest.
Right. We got a bunch of comments that we missed from Hobby. See, when we talk about the cameras, he said he does multiple takes from different angles because you don't know what works.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right? You kind of try different things, see how the lighting hits and everything. Um, Buying parts for stuff is expensive, absolutely. Oh, this is cool. You got a donation of stuff from Fright Props, and you just put a video on this channel. Have to go check that out. I will go check that out. And you agreed $20 buys you a cup of coffee at those conventions. Completely. And can I put Robert's channel in the show notes? Absolutely. I will put your channel in the description.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So we definitely have to do this again.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see your haunt. And again, Hobby or and Frady, if anyone wants to join in for another conversation, we can get 3 or 4 people going. It'd be great. So
Yeah.
it's cool. The pond mister is best for low hanging fog. Okay, that's good to know. Pond mister. So something to look at.
Yep.
So anyway, everyone, I gotta get my son to bed because he'll stay up all night playing his iPad, and then plenty of times in the summer I would fall asleep and wake up at midnight, and he's still wake playing on his game. So, but thanks for joining us, Robert. It's been a ton of fun.
Yeah, we gotta do it again.
Robert Rivera's collection of hobbies is the channel. Again, I'll put the link down below, and that's it, everybody. So, Robert, we'll be in touch to connect again. And everyone else, thank you for watching.
Yep.
I guess I'll do the ending. I'm scared, Dad. Spooky season's coming. Go get ready. We'll see you later. Have a good night.
There's you too.